Hey guys, this is Oracle Daphne. My name is Beth and I am back doing the August 2016 monthly tarot horoscopes. This is for everyone with their ascendant, sun, or moon in the lovely Gemini. For some of you who don't know, I basically lost my voice for almost 2 months and I was sick, so I didn't post any videos for July, but I'm back doing live readings and doing private readings, so feel free to email me elizabetholson31@gmail if you'd like a private reading. And I do have a calendar on my website, oracledaphne.com, so definitely check that out. It does run behind, so you know, if you see a same-day appointment, please give me more than 15 minutes to get back to. Actually, it does take me 24 to 48 hours to get back to people. So booking at least 2 days out is best. That way I have time to kind of accommodate you. But if you don't see a time available that you like, please just let me know. People on the East Coast, please beware that 11:30 my time is 2:30 your time. So that means you know, I'm never going to be available at 9 in the morning East Coast time. It just will never be. So I want you guys to know that, because that would be 6 a.m. my time. So let me just lay out a spread. And these videos are general readings, and it's going to be a little bit shorter than usual. So like I said, if you'd like a private reading, just please feel free to email me, and I'd love to get you scheduled. Okay. To me, this is all over the place. It's really, really all over the place. And actually, I am going to reshuffle and lay out another spread, because there's too many things coming and going. It feels very chaotic. Gemini, I feel like this came up for you before. This has come up before, where the energy feels very scattered. Like literally you're going in many different directions all at once, and that means you're living in your Sagittarius shadow, which means you need to think things through before you do them. Do things one at a time. You can do things two at a time, but you know, expecting to get everything accomplished all in the same day, you're pushing it. I feel like you're really pushing it. So that was a message from that spread. I'm going to let out another spread, but it was so chaotic. I just couldn't get a grip on it. And maybe you're kind of like a little bit like Pisces. You may be in a relationship to a Pisces. First card I pulled out was the Eight of Cups. So you may have some Pisces in your chart, or again be in a relationship with a Pisces, especially Gemini guys, but also could be girl situation, or you know, there may be some Pisces, strong Pisces energy, like in somebody in your life. Could be your mom, sister, but also it could be in your chart where you have a lot of strong Pisces in your chart too. So it's hard for me to connect with it, because again, I feel like it is so scattered. The energy is so scattered that pinning you down, figuring you out is this complex thing. You do have the Three of Swords at the foundation here, and that means some of you, you know, in the past, you're still getting over past hurts or past breakup. You know, you may have been, like, you may be watching this for, like, you may be a Pisces watching this for a Gemini person that you broke up with. Okay, could be. Somebody in the past, in the distant past. You know, you may be a Gemini and there's some issue within your relationship. You've got these this cluster of negativity. You've got the Nine of Swords, the Devil crossing, and the Three of Swords as the foundation. So it's like a little cluster of negativity in the past. So you may have gone through some kind of challenging time recently, July, you still may not be totally over it for whatever reason. You may also have some Capricorn or Taurus or Aries in your chart also, because to me the Devil is the horned, animals. And so, or there just may be someone who's trying to control you. The Eight of Cups at the center of everything to me is about moving away from emotionally difficult time, moving on. But there's like some remnants, because you have the Three of Swords, of pain there. So, there's some pain, there's some past pain. Some of you may have struggled with an addiction or alcoholism or something like that in the recent past. You may know somebody who's struggling with alcoholism and addiction or some kind of addiction issue. For those of you who aren't, I feel like this reading is really divided. It's really split, which is Gemini reading. So some of you, that's not going to apply at all. Some of you, it's just moving on, moving away from any kind of troubling times, any kind of stress that you may have had. This is wanting to move away from it. Because I don't see you in the center, you are very much focused on other people. You're very much focused on the outer world, what's going on around you. You need to focus more on yourself in a healthy way in order for the energy to be right. You're focused too much on this. The Eight of Cups could actually be a Cancer or Scorpio female too. Gemini guys, you may be very much focused on a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces female. And there's some control thing there. There's something maybe there about money, because the Devil to me is also money. That's coming up strongly too. There's something where this is a cord of attachment to someone who's not that great, someone who's draining your energy, okay? So if you're a female, it doesn't matter if you're Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio female watching this for a Gemini partner who's controlling, or maybe you're watching this because your ascendant is in Gemini, or whatever the case may be, and that the partner may actually be like a Capricorn or Taurus or something like that. Or you may have some Capricorn or Taurus in your chart. It feels very like, I feel like the females feel like there's this element of being stuck in a relationship, wanting to break out of a relationship, being controlled by somebody else. And it's also, there's a financial element here too. And this came up for one of the other signs that I did. It might have been Taurus. It might have actually been Aries. I'm trying to think now. Could have been Aries, where there's this element of money. The Devil is saying, the Devil says, you're never going to be able to get out of the relationship. You don't have enough money to do it. That's the Devil. Okay, that shit that comes into your head. It's a message. It's a false message. Okay, it's not true. The reality is that you can break free from the Devil very easily. Okay, anyone who raises their vibration high enough can. All chains fall away. All the cords of attachment and hooks fall out. Okay, so you need to make the decision. And I feel like there's some things that are being hidden from you. I'm really getting drawn into this mask. So either you or somebody else is wearing a mask. There's this falseness. Somebody's not really telling you the truth, or you're withholding the truth or hiding from the truth. Okay. And you may have given your heart to someone who doesn't deserve it. I feel like for some of you, that's the case. Others, I feel like some of you are in a marriage situation you're unhappy, or you may even be like in a living situation, where you're unhappy. Okay. I feel like it's less the living situation, although some of you, it is like a living situation that you hated, what you wanted, you felt stuck, you couldn't get out of, and now you may be moving on from it, you may be free from it. Some of you may be moving to a new apartment or a new house or something where, the energy is changing. You do have the Five of Pentacles, which is sadness, sorrow, Miss Lonely Hearts going, crying in bed after a breakup. So I definitely feel like some of you, there's a breakup, but like some of you, like it's really hard for Geminis to really officially let something go. I feel like you need to finally like block this person. You need to say, no, I'm not going to take this bullshit anymore. Like, no more bullshit. Okay. I don't care what sign they are. That's, if you're within a relationship where they're trying to control you, you need to, you know, you're being manipulated. I want to say that you're being manipulated. I want to say by a water sign. And this is causing you a lot of heartache, and, you know, this is causing you a lot of stress, and I don't like to see that for you. And I would say, you know, best case scenario, you know, you've learned a lot from this person, but it's time to move on. Okay. I feel like some of you have been in a hard, you know, really bad relationship, unhealthy, toxic situation, and it just needs to end. Okay. That's how I see it. You know, the devil is a cord of attachment. The devil is very controlling. The devil is the person that you feel like you can't break up with, or the person that you feel like you can't get away from. You move, and guess what happens? They follow you. You know, you change your phone number, and then they get your phone number anyways. It's kind of crazy, but it's that kind of thing. And the Gemini is the one that says, but I can't break up with them. He won't let me, you know. So you need to say no to this person. Whoever this person is, it's time to go. Okay. You have the star, which is healing. So I like to see the 3 of Swords followed by the star. To me, that's really positive. Okay, really, really positive. Healing energy in the immediate future. I like to see that. So any heartbreak that you've been through, you're going to move. You're going to move on from it. You know, it's good that you have the 8 of Cups, because to me that is moving on and being healed and being free of it. What I don't like to see is that you have the Emperor in the position of emotions. And I usually see this with women who are, where there's a cord of attachment to their dad, and their dad is blocking, or they have a very strong-willed father, where they cannot actually be in a healthy relationship because of their relationship to their father. You need to examine, if you're female, you're Gemini, you need to examine your relationship to your father, okay? Because your relationship to your father is going to determine your relationship to other men. So if you had a terrible relationship with your father, then you need to really heal that. And even if your father has passed away, okay, it still needs to be healed so that you can learn from it and move on from it and understand, you know, relationships better because of that. And Geminis are very relationship focused. So, you know, if you want a solid relationship and you want to be in a healthy, happy partnership, this is something that you need to examine. This is also for some of you, this is being told the wall is up, you know, totally shut down emotionally. You're not emotionally available. In order for you to have a healthy relationship, you have to be emotionally available. If you're not emotionally available, then you're going to attract other people, the Capricorns, the Tauruses, the people, the Virgos, that are very solid and they're not emotionally available either. Typically, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo, they have a natural wall. It's a natural protective device that in a way in their it's encoded into who they are, okay? That just is sort of like, you know, that protects them, shields them from people attacking them. They're very solid and stable and secure in the world, but emotionally available, they are not. It takes a lot to crack that egg, okay? So for, especially if you have any Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo strongly in your chart, you need to watch out for this. Because, again, if you're not emotionally available, you're going to be attracting in people who also aren't emotionally available, and therefore you're going to get hurt, okay? Because you have to have an emotional connection in order for a relationship to work. That's just how it goes, okay? Also, you may, again, I feel a very strong Taurus energy here. Either, again, you have strong Taurus in your chart, or you may actually like someone who's a Taurus, okay? Some of you are like, you may be married to a Taurus, because I pulled the Lovers, so you may be married to a Taurus. But I feel like if you're in a marriage, the marriage is troubled, seriously troubled, and you or your partner is looking elsewhere for a new partnership. You know, this is the wandering eye, okay, person. This is the Knight of Wands. I'm going to say I don't feel, for most of you that are watching this, that if you're married, that this marriage is going to work. If you're in a relationship to a Taurus, I don't feel like it's going to work, okay? The outcome is the Five of Swords. And Five of Swords is conflict, arguments, fighting, you know, going in for the kill, using the sword and slicing somebody up via words, things that you say. You know, you got also the Two of Pentacles later down the line, towards the end of August, and that's the doubled up. That's the guy who's doubled up. So if you're watching this to find out, if you're watching this to find out about a Gemini guy, he's doubled up. Okay, he's doubled up in having more than one relationship going at the same time. He's cheating with more than one person, guy or girl, doesn't matter. Okay, and you may be later down the line in August also doubled up. Gemini is always doubled up, okay, because I mean the Two of Pentacles is you. In life, Gemini is always the multiples, but I feel like because of this negative relationship that you're in, if you're in a relationship, it's negative, I feel like you're going to end up scouting out a new partner or scouting out somebody to have a hookup with or scouting out someone to have an affair with. I don't even feel like you're realizing you're doing it. Some of you are actively trying to double up. Some of you are in love with someone who's married. But you can't, it's not reciprocated because that married person is emotionally unavailable. Okay, so there's someone there is emotionally unavailable. You do have the World, which I usually see as a Taurus coming in from the outside, which is support from the universe. So I feel like you are really scattered. Your focus is on too much on other people, too much on relationships, too much on negative relationships. And you need to take advantage of this beautiful world energy, which is everything's available to you. And you may not feel that way. There's a lot of drama. You got the melodrama. I call this the the sob story. Some of you really like the sob story, the melodrama. You don't necessarily want to make changes in your life because it feels emotionally unsafe. Again, strong Taurus energy. Some of you need to have more sex. Some of you want a healthy relationship that is healthy and happy, but there's a lot of cleanup work to do, okay? This is a very messy spread. So if you've been in relationships in the past, they haven't worked out, and if you're still in one, it's not going to work out, so you're going to be looking for a new relationship one way or the other. Guys, I feel like Gemini guys, you may not even be serious about having a partner, so you may just be kind of dallying a little bit and doubling up and having like multiple, sleeping around. I feel like you may be sleeping around. Some of you have like the hots for a specific person. If you are married, some of you have money issues within your marriage. If you are single, this is, you know, you're kind of struggling a little bit with your budget. Some of you are younger. Some of you are like a natural with animals and horses. Some of you love horses. Message me if you love horses and if you have horses. And send me pictures. I want to see pictures. Some of you really want to get out of a relationship. That's the devil for you. And it's because it's no longer healthy and it's no longer working. This is wanting to run away, is to get away. Some of you just need to have some clarity. So you need to take a trip somewhere, even if it's like for a day, even if it's for like 3 hours, even if it's going just to the park and sitting there by yourself. It's hard for Gemini, even with like a North Node, South Node, Gemini. It's hard for Gemini to be alone, okay? But you need to, because Gemini is always about the other person and relationships, and there's always two, so it's always you having to go to the store. Like, you can't do anything alone. So you need to work on creating some alone time for yourself so that you can have some clarity, because I feel like you're picking up too many other people's energies, and there's a cord of attachment to someone specific who's draining your energy. Some of you really want to stop worrying about money. Some of you are trying to get promoted or climb the ladder. I feel like some of you are going to get a raise or promotion, which is very good news. And some of you, you're going to be hearing back on a job interview. If you've just had a job interview, I feel like you're going to be hearing back. Some of you are going to be getting the raise. I said that. I feel strongly about that. If you're married, your partner has a long-term lover on the side, okay? If you are single, make sure you're sleeping with only single people, okay? Because if you get into an affair, I feel like it's going to end badly if it goes long-term. Some of you, you're dealing with some fate issues. So this is where some of you, in some cases, it's fated for you to be with a specific person. So it's going to be difficult and challenging in relationships. If your relationship isn't working, you need to get out of it immediately so that you can move on to what the universe has in store for you. And it's going to be really positive. I'm going to leave it there. I really appreciate your likes, shares, subscribes, Google Plusing, all that stuff. And I send you guys big hugs. Big hugs. Big kisses. And I will talk to you guys again soon. All right, take care. All the best. Bye.